Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to this pick a card reading for Archangel messages. These are collective messages, so they may not resonate. If they don't, you can always check out another reading on the channel. There are plenty to choose from, or if you want to, you can book a personal reading with me. The website is in the description box. We do have 3 cards to choose from to start the reading, and then we will live pull the rest of the cards together. This is card 1, card 2, and card 3. If you need to pause the video in order to choose your reading, you can go ahead and do so. Otherwise, I will see you in your reading. Okay, group number 1. Let's see which Archangel is popping up for you. We have Archangel Haniel. You're extra sensitive to energies and emotions right now. Honor yourself and your feelings. Now, this is an Archangel who does bring forth a lot of help and assistance as far as emotional healing goes, and assisting you in using your intuition, following cycles, following the natural rhythm of life, and the natural rhythm of you being you. Okay, so your emotions might need a little bit of attention. Something is coming up that is putting you in a position where you might feel a little bit overwhelmed. All right. And it is okay. That's basically what Archangel Haniel is saying right now, that there's a reason why you're feeling the way that you're feeling. And there's a reason why it feels so strongly and so powerful and is so significant and prevalent right now. Okay. So if you are feeling a little sensitive, right, then that means that you're getting asked to kind of rearrange some stuff in your life if you need to in order to adjust to that, right? Adjust wherever you need to adjust is basically what Archangel Haniel is saying. Let's see what else for group number 1. And to honor. She says honor your feelings and yourself. So if you are feeling a certain way, or if some stuff is coming up, not to be your own worst enemy, right? But to be your own best friend, to be your own best supporter. Not to feel guilty or ashamed or stupid or whatever, those negative feelings that come up on top of already negative feelings. Don't try to do your best not to try to do your best not to invalidate, right, your own feelings, your own emotions, to try to talk yourself out of how you're feeling or whatever. All right, Knight of Air. Events that occur with great speed. Take the time to carefully review your options, creative solutions. I will say that's funny that says that, because you have the 7 of Cups on the bottom of this. So are you trying to make a decision right now, and your emotions are kind of a little bit all over the place with it? Well, that makes sense, right? Why wouldn't they be? If you are making some kind of significant decision, or maybe it could be just a small one. Sometimes even small decisions can put us in a place where we feel like we're not too sure, or a little bit anxious, because I'm getting like this almost anxious or nervous energy surrounding some kind of decision that you have to make. Creative solutions, exactly. Maybe it's time to be flexible, malleable, a little bit more open to stuff that you haven't tried, people that you haven't talked to, going to resources that you haven't sought out yet. It might not be from point A to point B, right? It might be point A to point B, then to C, then back to B, then back to C. Do you get what I'm saying? It might be a different route that you have to take in order to follow through with this decision. Again, going back to Archangel Haniel, she's telling you, look, you're sensitive right now. You're picking things up very heavily and very quickly. And maybe that's why the Knight of Swords is popping up as well. You might feel rushed, anxious, nervous. You might feel like you have to, make the decision now. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe you feel like it's now or never, or you feel like you have to think quick on your feet, making decisions in the spur of the moment, which doesn't really give you the time to feel what you need to feel, right, in order to assess it. So slow down. Do the best that you can, because there's a lot of stuff that's already going fast as it is. 9 of Fire. Don't give up. Protect that which you've created. Have courage and believe in yourself. If you're extra sensitive right now, having courage and self-esteem, more specifically, right? Because if you have to believe in yourself, then have the confidence that you know that you have in what you're doing, right? And the decisions that you're making and the direction that you're going. Believe in yourself. Believe that you can do it. You should do it. You have the power. You have the will. You have the creative passion, whatever's going on. And then to protect yourself in the process, because if you, excuse me, if you're having a hard time believing in yourself, that might reflect, and then other people might come at you, right? Like, it's weird. It's weird how that happens, but that's just how the universe manifests around us, right? Sometimes we put ourselves in these positions where we feel bad about ourselves, and then we're like, oh, look, that person's also saying that, because we're following up on self-fulfilling prophecies, or we're looking for the evidence of what feels negative. And so then we say, oh, see, that happened. And then we're like, oh, that's negative, when it's really not. It's just that we're looking for it. And so we're finding it. Do you get what I'm saying? So don't give up. You're extra sensitive, maybe also because you're out of energy. You're tired, you're exhausted, you're overworked, overwhelmed, whatever's going on. You feel beat up. You feel like you want to give up. Don't give up. This is the wounded warrior, right? That's the Nine of Swords. I said Nine of Swords instead of Nine of Wands. Interesting. So again, anxious, nervous, sleepless nights, maybe. Maybe that's why you're tired as well. Honor yourself and your feelings. Archangel Haniel. I'm going to keep going back to this card because it's very specific and very significant, okay? It's important to follow through with the guidance that Archangel Haniel is giving. Have courage. Protect yourself. Have the courage to protect yourself. All right, let's see. What else? What else do they need to know? Group number 1. Okay, so we have Mahavatar Babaji, soul expansion. Your consciousness is expanding. You understand the connection between all things. So that would also make sense as to why you're extra sensitive. If you are highly receptive right now, right? If everything feel like it's buzzing, if everything feels like you can your senses, your touch, your taste, your smell, even those things can feel extra right now, right? Then maybe the connection there is because you're on your ascension path, essentially, right? And you are leveling up as a soul. You're progressing as a soul. So you're trying to understand the different layers, the different levels of things. Your perception is expanding. So your soul is expanding. So if that's happening right now, then of course you would be extra sensitive. Some people call it ascension symptoms, right? It's whatever resonates best with you, of course, obviously. Use your discernment, use your intuition, whatever feels like it resonates best. But some people call them ascension symptoms. Paul the Venetian, experiencing grace. Share your gifts with grace. Waves of inspiration and love are coming to you. So if sometimes when we feel the pure sense of love, all right, because it is a little bit more difficult being in this 3D world as a human being, right? It's a little bit more difficult to feel a pure sense of love, like real, true, powerful, high vibrational love. And sometimes when that kicks in, when we feel that, it's almost like this is going to sound really negative when I say it, but it's almost like a high, right? You're high up on life. I call it being high on life. And then it kind of just drops and you miss that feeling, right? So it can kind of feel like this huge wave of love, and then it drops down, and then all the other emotions start to go haywire and wacky. Usually it is a sign or an indication that maybe we need to work on our grounding a little bit, right? Maybe we need to work on a connection between heart and mind, and that'll make us feel a little bit more stable, a little bit more secure in the 3D existence. But right now, you're extra sensitive. Honor yourself and your feelings because your gifts are coming up. All right, your gifts. What are your gifts? What are your talents? All right. Grace. Let's look up the definition, of grace together, because definition. Courteous goodwill. All right. It's technically religion, right? As far as religion goes, we're gonna look at it differently, right? Religion, technically, it's a favor from God. And we might feel like we receive it and we don't deserve it. So there, we're going back to the whole needing to have high confidence right now, needing to have the self-esteem, needing to believe in yourself that you do deserve grace. For me, when I think of grace as the all encompassing love, the high vibrational love. Okay, that comes from life, that comes from the universe, that comes from everything around us. That's grace to me. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's a very special feeling. It feels like warmth and safety and comfort and just being accepted for who you are, right? If you're experiencing grace, it's going to open up other doorways for you to share and inspire because you're feeling inspired. So you're going to inspire others, right? Do you get what I'm saying? I'm just seeing if there's anything else. When I Googled grace, it's not what I thought I was gonna get. I'll be honest. But what I was essentially trying to say is, like, when you think of grace, you think of, like, you know, the love and the understanding and the protection, that the comfort that you get from God, the universe, source energy, whatever you want to call it, and whatever resonates best with you, right? All right, let's see what else. Okay. One more. Well, that's the thing, right? It's like believing in, that's not it, it's this one. Believing in the mystery of life, or just trusting in the mystery of life, especially if your emotions are a little bit extra sensitive right now. You're just feeling a lot. You're going through a lot. We got to remember that it's I know. Sometimes I'm tired of hearing it too, but we got to remind ourselves life is the journey. All right. Shit happens, right? It's up, it's down, it's left, it's around. It's never going to stop. That's the wheel of fortune. That's the wheel of life. That's the point, is to kind of go with it, to see what happens, to see where it goes. The mystery unfolds a little bit at a time. And to just remember that, and to not hate yourself or feel weird or feel dumb, again, or to just be a bully to yourself, essentially, as you experience it and as you go through all of this stuff. This and that are true. I love this. The Dove. Neutrality. Right now, that is a good, thank you, Spirit. This is a good tool. Because if Archangel Haniel is saying, look, your emotions are a little bit, you know, neutrality, being in the middle, taking that middle path, right? Like Buddhism, being in the middle, not there and not over here, but here in the middle. Okay. This and that are true. Seeing both sides of a situation, seeing both sides of the story, right? Because a lot of times people as a whole, we like to say, well, this is true. And then we say, well, that is true. And we forget to say, well, why can't both be true? And we're seeing a lot of that in the collective, right? If people just kind of arguing and being very, very divisive right now. It's sad to see, but it is. Okay. But sometimes it's about, but well, why can't you have both? It's kind of like that. You guys remember that old commercial? I think it was like a taco commercial or something. It's the little kid that goes, "Why not both?" That's what I'm remembering for some reason right now. So just there's nothing wrong also with wanting both, and then seeing that both is true. It's critical thinking. Critical thinking is essentially what's happening here. Being able to be more neutral and more mindful of the moment, and being able to take the middle path, but also, that's too many. Also, critical thinking. I forgot for a second what I was saying. All right. 2 more cards, please, for group number 1, before we get to tarot. The mouse. Yeah. Again, it's funny because if I was using a Lenormand deck right now, that's what mice really are. It's about nervousness, anxiety. You got a lot of that going on. Okay, well, what do you do with it, right? You got 2 earth cards for a reason. I'm giving you the typical cliche advice right now. You need to ground yourself. Do it in whatever way is best for you. There's so many techniques, so many different things. Sometimes, do you know what's weird? I noticed a few days ago, I mowed the lawn, and I was on my mower, my rider mower. And I realized how much more calm and peaceful I was after I mowed the lawn, because I was very hyper fixated and focused. I didn't have music on. I wasn't trying to watch something on my phone at the same time or listen to something. It was just me and the lawnmower and the smell of cut grass. And I didn't realize how grounding it was until after. I'm like, wow, I feel so much calmer. It could be something like that. Grounding and meditation. Sometimes you find meditative practices in the simplest of things. Washing the dishes, mowing the lawn, doing the laundry. I know that sometimes that can feel very mundane or very boring or the complete opposite. But it is actually, talking about Buddhism, that is a Buddhist teaching, is to do more mindful acts of things. If you're going to eat, just focus on eating, okay? Don't do any other thing. If you're going to cook, focus on cooking. If you're going to mow the lawn, just do the lawn. That's it. Not trying to do 17, because we live in a society, and we live in a world where we already have high anxiety because we're constantly going at a fast pace. Going back to the Knight of Swords, things are very fast paced for you right now, okay? So if you're constantly going through rushing, where is the moment to stop and smell the roses, right? That's why the mouse is coming up. You ever watch a mouse sleep? It's kind of cute. It's kind of adorable. They're like, they're so fast, and then when they slow down, it's the cutest thing ever. Be the cute little mouse and slow down. Elk. Now, I will say, eclipses, all right, are very significant for you. Maybe you realize that eclipses are a little bit more. Maybe you've got some huge Cancerian influence in your chart. I don't know. Okay, everybody's going to have a huge influence with the eclipse, especially if you take it back and look at your natal chart and how is the eclipse transiting your natal chart. But an eclipse brings significant changes. Our ancestors used to look at the eclipse and say, oh my God, we're going to have a shitty crop this year, right? There's a reason why. You're expecting powerful change. You're expecting powerful change. You're sensing it. You're anticipating something. That's also why you have such high anxiety. I'm telling you. I think that's why the elk has come out. But the elk is also coming out because it's asking you to look at your space. Do you dominate your space? Do you set the right boundaries? Do you give off the energy that says, hey, I'm a loving, giving, nurturing, caring being, but don't mess with me as well, right? Don't take my kindness for weakness, kind of a thing. I don't know. I'm feeling like that's a message for somebody watching right now, for sure. Group number 1. One more shuffle. Okay. There's that inability to make the decision. Man, look at these major arcana cards. Group number 1. You have 4 of the 6 are major. Wow. Oh, this is an interesting combination. I don't know if it's like an issue of morality or values, but the fact that you have the Hierophant and Justice together, that's interesting combination. And then the Hermit. And then Death. So your sensitive emotions are tied to needing to be a little bit more open, a little bit more receptive, and not refusing to see the truth that something is either ending or needs to end or transform. Could be just transformation, right? What is right? What is moral? What is moral? That's a huge message here. What is the right thing to do? Ask yourself that. This is a decision that only you can make, first of all. Okay? This is a path that only you can take. Do not try to cut corners or escape or ignore or make an excuse. This is a hard message right now for somebody. Just because you're nervous or because you're anticipating things to go wrong or things to be bad or things to hurt you, you have to take 2 things right now. All right, maybe it's not about a decision. Maybe it's just 2 different things in your life. And you have to see the pros and cons in both of them. You have to see the good and bad in both of them. You cannot ignore or pretend like one thing doesn't exist or one feeling doesn't exist. Sometimes it's about that, right? Sometimes we can just pretend like man, I really want that job over there. And I feel really called to do that. Or I feel really happy when I think about, am I going to work that job? Right? But I'm going to ignore it because it's too far, or I'm going to have to sacrifice time with the kids, or my partner won't support me. And so we just ignore it, and we ignore it. It becomes an itch that you can't ignore, right? It's to the point where you have to stop ignoring it. It's affecting you emotionally at this point, right? So it's affecting your day-to-day living. It's affecting your life. And again, high anxiety. That's no way to live. Life is a mystery. You never know. You never know. You never know what could happen if you say yes. You never know what could happen if you say no. Hermit. The best thing that you can do right now is ask yourself. Ask yourself. Not look to that person or spirit. Or blah, 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 blah. Archangel Haniel, remember, she's saying, honor yourself. Honor yourself and your feelings. That's also what the Hermit is saying. Do what is right for you. Justice with death. At the end of the day, what's done is done, and we reap the rewards or we reap the consequences, right? That's justice, essentially. Justice says, look, if you do something bad, you're going to have bad things that happen from it. If you do something good, you're going to have good things that come from it. That's just how it is. Cause and effect. As long as you don't try to, I will say the Seven of Swords has always been interesting to me, because the Seven of Swords, he has all 7 swords. He has all of them. Usually in Seven of Swords, you'll see the 2 that are left behind. Not in this case. And the only thing that's left behind is a wolf in sheep's clothing eating the sheep. I don't know if it's going to... There we go. Actually, he has 6 swords. Where's the 7th? Interesting. I always get more and more from this card every time I use this deck. It's just... Look, I know. I'm sorry. I got really caught up in that. The message here... I don't know why, but it's almost like if you see something, say something. Right? And don't be that person. And if the situation is like a wolf in sheep's clothing, don't ignore it. Don't keep pretending like the wolf is the sheep, because it's gonna, And that's why justice and death and the Hierophant and the Hermit and everything about your intuition right now, You can feel it. You can anticipate that it ain't gonna go the way that you deserve it to go. Okay, I'm 23 minutes in. That's crazy. I really hope that this helped. If you want more clarification, the website is in the description box for a personal reading. Otherwise, thank you for tuning in. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, group number 2. Let's see what the Archangels have in store for you. You have Archangel Ariel, yes. Courage. Be courageous and stand up for your beliefs. Now, this is the Archangel of nature and animals, plant kingdom, mineral kingdom, okay? So you could have that connection to nature. But courage. Very, very Diana energy here. The goddess of Diana. I'm getting that heavily. And there is a connection there, so look that up. Because she could be an ascended master that you might be resonating with at this time. But there's something that requires you to have courage, bravery. Where do you need to muster up the courage? Interesting. Let's get more for that. It could be, it could be one of those situations where you're scared to do it or there's fear there because it's never been done before. Maybe you're the first in your family lineage, or maybe you're the first in your group at work, or maybe there's a fear there because you're not sure what the outcome is going to be, how it's going to play out, if it's going to succeed. There could be a lot of reasons why there's fear, but let's get more here. Why does group number 2? Thank you. Perfect. I needed 2 cards. 6 of water. Memories from your history or childhood. Issues regarding children or romanticizing the past. Then we have 5 of air, 5 of swords. An unwise choice. Learn what you can from the situation. Review everyone's motives. Fear can put us in a corner where we might not act in our highest vibration, right? Fear can put us in a position where we might turn into assholes. I'm going to be honest. That's the 5 of swords. Is someone just being a jerk. Someone who is winning at all costs. Someone who doesn't care about other people's feelings. Someone who is passive aggressive. Answers with a very dry wit and is sarcastic. They're a jerk. They're a jerk. They're a bully. So, and again, they will mow over everybody else just to get the win. So I'm wondering if you're having the courage to either step up to somebody like this, right? Or to accept that maybe you are coming across as this kind of person because you have fear somewhere. That's not me pointing your finger at you, okay? We all need to see the shadow side of ourselves. Everybody does something that they shouldn't be doing. Every single person. Because unfortunately, there's that natural, guttural, raw, primal instinct within us, this animalistic nature. I won't be surprised if you get the strength card because I'm seeing the strength card. Memories of your childhood. Now, the 6 of Cups. If in the past you have, well, not if. In the past you have gone through a series of steps, right, to make decisions or to process things in a certain way or to experience life in a certain way, whatever. You have this way of beingness. In the past, you've had a set of steps. I feel like those set of steps do not resonate anymore and they need to be changed. And you have to have the courage to say, the past is in the past. That might have happened to me before. Maybe you were abused as a child, because I'm going to be honest, these two usually tells me someone who, or you had a strict, cold parent. If maybe you had absent parents, something here about that, where in the past or during childhood, you were taught to be a certain way. Okay, you were molded into this version of yourself, and right now you're having to step up, Archangel Ariel, to have the courage to muster up the bravery to free yourself from the past. Learn what you can from this situation. Something didn't work out. It turned out to be a win or lose, and you lost. That's this 5 of Swords. And sometimes losing can be bitter, and it can turn us into bitter people, right? So how do you clear that past version of yourself and step forward into a better version, all right, that is a little bit more accountable and a little bit more courageous and brave to say, I'm willing to cut myself from that. I'm willing to say goodbye to the past and no longer romanticize it. Remember, romanticizing the past. No longer put the past on this pedestal, on this, gosh, I miss how things used to be. I wish things were the same. No, you don't. You don't. Remember that. I know that's a tough message for somebody, but it is still a message for somebody. All right, let's see what else. Mother Mary. Yeah, Mother Mary is important. We're going to take the bottom card and the top card because that makes sense. All right. Freya is also coming up. Phases and cycles. There's a beginning with every ending. Illusions are revealed and released. So if you're experiencing fear, which is the moon, by the way, moon can indicate fear because it's dark. Are you afraid of the dark? You know, remember that show from the 90s? If you're experiencing fear, it's likely because something is beginning or it's ending. The illusion of the beginning and the ending. Because with every beginning, there is an ending. With every ending, there's a beginning. So really nothing ever ends and really nothing ever begins, right? That's the whole point. It's like believing, or not believing, but understanding the cycles, the rhythms, the loops, the patterns, the karmic wheel that we are on. That's what you need to remember or understand. Everything has a phase. Everything has a cycle. Trust that because you're going through all of this, that's pushing you to the point of fear, right? Pushing you to be more courageous and more brave. Trust that it's to drop things in your life that are not real anymore. It's just a part of the past. Essentially, this is what the cards are saying here for you, group number 2. Mother Mary, love and peace. Let go of the need to be right. Choose peace. Mother healing is possible at this time. Now, curiously, the moon can also represent the woman, the mother, the divine feminine. So the fact that you have these 2 cards, also Freya. So there's something here about that. Absolutely. Maybe you are literally healing as a mother. Maybe you're healing the relationship with your mother. All right? I already said that. Strict parents, abusive childhood. Somebody is watching and somebody has experienced that. Peace. It takes a shit ton of courage and bravery to make peace, to choose to be the bigger person, right? Like sometimes you have to choose to just not engage in drama, to choose to walk away, to choose to let people be who they are and not engage further. A lot of bravery. People might look at that as you, I'm going to say it, pussying out. Oh, well, you're not. You're choosing to just have peace because you don't want any more drama. You don't want any more fighting. I could see that. You don't want conflict. You're over it. You're realizing that's got to stay in the past. And that takes a lot of courage to forgive and to forget. And I'm really getting that for you, group number 2. It doesn't matter if you're right. Let go of the need to be right. It doesn't matter because whoever this is, they're not going to listen anyway. Right? Again, that's the kind of person that's just a very negatively oriented person. And it's the kind of situation where it doesn't matter what you say or what you do. You can't change them. You can't fix them. You can't heal them. Stand up for your beliefs, right? That's what Archangel Ariel said. And then Mother Mary is saying, just choose peace. Choose peace. We will take. Oh, is it one card? No, it isn't. Yeah. I want it. This one. Sweet results await. The honeybee. The worker bee. The worker mindset. I feel like the bee spirit is coming up because if you just choose bravery and courage, things will soften. And so, I don't know, maybe you have Venus transiting something. Maybe you have Venus over your moon right now. Things are about to soften. Things are about to be released. Things are about to sweeten up for you. And I just trust the work that you've done. Okay, again, it's the worker bee. The honey bee. You want the honey. Honey takes a lot of work. Takes a lot of time. Takes a lot of bees to make a little bit of honey. All right? That's a lot of sacrifice. And I'm really trying to figure out if this sacrifice is needed because you have to have the courage, or if the sacrifice is, a result of the courage. I think it's a result of it. Co-create with the spirit. 17 and 7. 7's your number. Right now might be, because, especially if you're going through a big cycle, right? A big phase, it might be tough to trust the process, trust spirit, trust the universe, right? It might feel like a little bit impossible. It might feel like it doesn't matter because you're seeing a lot of things ending, a lot of things beginning, a lot of things changing, and it's inducing fear. So the fact that you have those 2 cards together is definitely the message of, look, just trust. Oh my God, I cut it. And the bee, again, you're working with the bee. Look for the bees. Look for the bees. Holy crap. I love when spirit does that. That's a huge synchronicity for you, of the bee. Air element, the power of mind, power of words, power of thoughts. Those are all beliefs, your opinions. Archangel Ariel already said that. Also, holy crap. Well, I don't know, actually. Does Freya have a raven or a crow? I don't know. I can't remember. Maybe she has a raven, but similar energy there. Okay? That's also something that's come up twice. Let me get one more animal. If you choose peace, if you forgive and forget, if you heal, if you just cut your losses somewhere, have the courage and the bravery to stand up and do something else, right? To do something new, to get away from the past. The bee is telling you, look, everything's going to... Oh, there it is. Everything's going to work out just fine. Trusting that it works out in your favor. Crocodile. That's same for me. When I look at the crocodile card in this deck, it's the same thing as a Five of Swords. Someone's got their eye on you, okay? Someone is maybe trying to get you away from a path of reaping the rewards, the sweet honey results. This is a predator. Right? A crocodile is you don't know a crocodile's there until you know a crocodile's there, by the way. It's a very big animal being, but they're very stealthy. They're quiet. Have great reflexes too, right? Great reaction time. What does that mean for you? Well, group number 2, I really do feel like you have this weird relationship with someone, and it just keeps coming up as a theme in your reading. Don't let anyone, mother, lover, friend, whatever, okay, strip you of your rewards, of your deserved success and happiness, because someone is emotionally picking at you. They're emotionally bullying you. That's that crocodile. Or again, I don't think it's this. Usually I'm like, okay, yeah, we do need to take, accountability and responsibility for what we're doing. I will say maybe that's also the case. Maybe you have to stop being that person. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. You watched me shuffle. Five of Swords again. I think it's you dealing with another person who's this, and they're watching. They're watching. Maybe it's a devouring mother archetype that you have to heal. Maybe this person doesn't even exist anymore. Maybe because the Six of Cups is here, right? And Freya cycles. Maybe it's an old cycle. A memory. An echo. A shadow of the past. That's affecting your decision making right now. That's affecting your ability to muster up the courage. There's the loss, by the way. Five of Cups. And I'm telling you, it's about childhood, something to do with children. And then the mother, again, Queen of Cups. Cancerian energy for sure. It's all over the table, but yeah. The right thing for you is the right thing for you. At the end of the day, just you got to know that. You got to trust in that. What's done is done. Justice comes up when she says, look, karma's karma, right? Everything has a consequence. Cause and effect. And the fact that you have a lack of compassion and kindness and emotional investment in this really weird situation where there is a lot of emotion, it's interesting. It's almost like just detachment where there shouldn't be detachment, and then attachment where there shouldn't be attachment. So balancing attachment and detachment, I think, is very important for you right now. I also want to say feeling whole and complete no matter what the winds of change bring. And also feeling whole and complete as you karmically complete a cycle. Because you might feel like you're losing yourself. You might feel like you're rushing through life. You might feel like you are being forced to make decisions very fast. You might feel like you're being forced to not feel. You have to really just muster up the bravery and the courage to just say what you need to say, to get it off your chest, to start over with this Ace of Pentacles. Wherever you start over in something, I will say with the Ace of Pentacles, that's the luckiest card in the tarot, okay? I'm going to say it. I know I say it a million gajillion times, so the people who've been with me forever probably get tired of me saying it. But for me, this is ultimate luck. Luck, spiritual luck, okay? It is real. It is a very real new beginning. Usually for me, this indicates a new job, a new career path, a new change in environment. Maybe you move somewhere and you get a new house or a new apartment, or even a new car, right? Sometimes a car, when you don't have a car for 2 years, can be extremely liberating and freeing, right? Because now you have the option to just go wherever you want, whenever you want. So it's that kind of thing. It's freedom. I'm really seeing freedom in your cards, needing to have the courage to choose freedom from loss, from regret, trusting that karma says, hey, this is the end of the cycle. Let's start a new one. To have compassion and kindness not only for yourself, but for others, no matter what they've done, no matter the cost of that, because it will free you. How do you stop the wheel of karma? Forgiveness. I hope this really helped. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want more clarification, the website is in the description box again for personal readings. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, group number 3. Let's see what Archangel's coming up for you. Archangel Zadkiel. Soften your heart with respect to the situation and all the people involved, including yourself. Now, Archangel Zadkiel is the angel of forgiveness, right? And mercy. Who do you need to forgive? Because if you have to soften your heart to people and the situation as a whole, you're being asked to forgive and forget. You could have been really pulled to watch group number 2's reading. If it's about forgiveness, you can go ahead and watch that as well. Because not only will this message resonate, but that the messages in that reading might resonate. Compassion. The violet flame of transmutation for forgiveness and anxiety, Archangel Zadkiel. Okay? Using the violet flame in meditation is going to be very helpful for you. Something is unfortunately requiring you to be the bigger person and to say it is okay, even though it's not okay. All right? Compassion, yes, but I'm also getting a sense of like sympathy and empathy, like putting yourself in their shoes kind of a thing, which can be hard because I feel like somebody has hurt you to your core. Or maybe the world is just hurting right now. You know, maybe this is not even a subjective thing or a personal thing. Maybe this is a collective thing where you're just feeling the pain of the world and you're just like, man, I'm tired of humanity being the way that it is. And having to have compassion for that. Also, including yourself. That is very important, isn't it? That's very, very important. Not forgetting to say, hey, self, I love you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. That's the, what is it called? Let me look it up. Hold on. That's what it's called. Ho'oponopono prayer. The reconciliation and forgiveness prayer. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. You need to do that with self and with others right now. This is a reading of forgiveness. To heal the wheel of karma is through forgiveness. It was 44:44 on the camera when I said that. I mean, come on, group number 3. Also, not a coincidence that you chose that because 4 is your number. You see a lot of 4s. 4s are everywhere. It is, years ago, and that's why I completely forgot about that prayer. That, I learned about that prayer, I think it was, ironically, right before COVID. I think it was like 2020 when I learned about that prayer. And I tried it for like a week, just a couple times in the morning while I was taking a shower. I would say it in the mirror. Let me tell you, it is a weirdly effective little prayer, and I think I will do it with you again as well. I think I'm going to join you in doing that little prayer. Just look at the mirror and say, "I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you." Because it can be hard to forgive other people, especially when they've hurt you, or situations, or companies, or whatever. Okay, maybe it's not a one person. Maybe it's a collective group of people. Especially if it's a company like that you worked with for 10 years and then they just fired you out of the blue, and you're like, I invested. I missed birthday parties. I worked a lot of overtime. I sacrificed so much of myself for this place, and then you want to fire me. Like, it can be hard to forgive them, right? The easier thing, and maybe it's not, it seems easier, but maybe it's not. The better thing is if you can't do that, then sometimes just forgive self, right? Work on self then. And slowly but surely you will notice the change and the ability to reflect that and pass it on to the forgiveness of others. Yeah. All right. Cool. Awesome. Let's see. The Ace of Earth. Oh, heck yeah. We love that card. That's our favorite card in the whole tarot. The inflow of abundance, a promising business venture, important documents or contracts. And I'm telling you that the important document or contract is also karmic in nature for you, okay? Now, this could literally be that at this time, Archangel Zadkiel is asking you to soften your heart to bring compassion to the table, because you might be starting a new job, starting a new business, starting a new level of authority or leadership in your current workspace. I don't know. Could be making a big financial investment. And I know that sounds weird. It's like, well, what the hell does that have to do with compassion? Heck yeah, it does. Everything has to do with compassion. Everything has to do with forgiveness. Right? If you don't forgive, let's go back to that, right? If you don't forgive a company for doing you wrong, doing you dirty, and then, 6 months, a year down the road, whatever, you get an offer from a different company, but they've got similar tendencies and similarities between the two, you will immediately, and maybe you won't even do it consciously, but you will immediately judge that new company because it's got similarities to the old company, and you will think that the old company, is going to be the same thing. And it's not. It's a different company. Do you get what I'm saying? Same thing with a relationship, right? If they've got similarities to an old karmic soul contract, you're going to say, ooh, you remind me of someone and I don't like that. And you're going to hurt me. And then this new person's going to be like, what? Because they're going to look at you like you're crazy. I'm not that person. Sorry that person's hurt you, but I'm not that person. You've got a huge inflow of abundance coming towards you right now. Ace of Earth with 9 of Earth. Enjoying life's little luxuries, spending quiet time alone, successful self-employment. Maybe that's what it is. That compassion for yourself to start your own business or to continue to grow your business or elevate your business or elevate financially, financial independence, financial stability, financial security, forgiveness and compassion. Now, this could have to do with independence in general, just being a strong, independent person. Of course, that's going to require a lot of forgiveness on your behalf, right? Forgiveness of self, more specifically, but forgiveness of others. Whatever, I put myself in that position where they took away my freedom, they took away my independence, but I'm going to forgive them and I'm going to move on, right? Because I have to. Otherwise, I'll never be able to feel that strength within me, that independence within me, if I don't feel independent from attachment of other people. Makes sense? Absolutely makes sense. What do I want next? This one, right. Group number 3. I almost said 2. Again, if you were called to that one, you can watch that one too. One more. Thanks. The Holy Spirit. Expect miracles. Remember that only love is real. Miracles will occur. I can't speak. Remember that only love is real. Miracles will occur naturally. For some reason, that sentence is very hard for me to say. Spirit has your back. Spirit has your back. Archangel Zadkiel. Again, mercy and forgiveness. Do you know how much that would open up that Ace of Cups? This is the Ace of Cups. Now, the Ace of Cups is that holy grail, right? The holy vessel, the body, the version of the beingness of you as a human being, as whoever you are. Self-love and self-care. But this is a miracle because, and again, I'm telling you, even as simple as doing that little prayer, it will change your life. It will. It's weird. I can't explain it. I don't have an answer for you. I know everybody's always asking me, well, how does this work? Well, how does that work? I don't know. I don't question it because it works and it's good. Forgiveness and compassion are good and they work. The more you do that, the more abundant your life will be. Essentially, that's what these cards are saying here. This is a reading of abundance, and this is a reading of forgiveness and compassion. Krishna, devotion, trust your spiritual guidance. Your commitment has been recognized. You are loved unconditionally. That's the second time about being loved unconditionally and loving others unconditionally. Accepting people for who they are and still giving them compassion, kindness, understanding, and patience. The Christed self, whatever you want to call it, okay? That is what you're being asked to do at this time. And to continue to do that if you are already doing so, because it is a path of abundance and love. And trusting in your own devotion to spirit. The good that you do is being recognized. It will repay. And I know that you don't care because if you're in this position and if you're in this vibration and frequency, you don't expect anything in return. Genuinely. You just want to be a good person and you want to do good things and you want to spread good cheer, you know? So, yeah, why not have that, you know, why not have that universe pay you back for it? Absolutely. Group number 3. Group number 3. If I don't get it. Okay. Okay. I was going to say, if I don't get one, I'll just cut it. There it is. The Scarab Beetle Spirit. Magic works through you. Once again, group number 3. Luck. And abundance, and things working out in your favor. Things just falling into place. You can't explain it. You don't have to explain it. You just know that it works, and you're grateful for it. Things are magically about to work for you. This is a crazy reading. I'm going to be honest. This is the most positive, healthy, happy, beautiful reading. I will not be surprised if, like, you get off of this. I almost said if you get off of this video call, like I'm talking to you. You know what? Yeah, let's just say that. All right. When we're done with this conversation, group number 3, I won't be surprised if something miraculous happens. I just won't be surprised, and you shouldn't be surprised either. That's like one of the tools, right? Or one of the techniques as far as manifestation goes. Is like, you look at, getting a new job that you really want or winning $100, right? You look at it as the same, whether it's good or bad. It's like, oh, thank you. Awesome. It's great. It's great. If it happens, it's great. If it doesn't, whatever. It's neutrality. And it's so hard for a lot of us. And it's so hard to do it all the time. There's no way. I mean, we're humans. But something magically is about to occur. Like, that's just insane. This reading is insane for me, and I'm loving it. Elephant Spirit, learn from the past. I already know that you're doing that. All right, you're learning from experience, right? What has happened? how to get through obstacles and challenges, because this is the elephant spirit. How to push through with love and compassion. You look at an elephant spirit, okay? They're massive animals, but they're cuddly and they're soft, unless you're messing with their babies or their family. But they're gentle giants, essentially. That's what elephants are. You are a gentle giant, okay? In spirit, is what I want to say. All right? You have turned into a gentle, soft, wonderful, compassionate soul where life has not been very kind to you in the past. You would think that you would have turned into this horrible, terrible person, but you proved everybody wrong. You know what I mean? You're not. And that means, is that yeah, look at the cosmic egg. That means, oh, and the tarantula. We're going to take both of these. That means that, well, I lost my train of thought because I was thinking of the cosmic egg. Yeah, no, you know what? That's what it is. That's why I led into that. That means that the universe is going to provide for you in ways that and it's going to blow your mind. You have an insane amount of a wealth of knowledge at your fingertips, not just through experience, but just through your spiritual journey. And you know, like you already, I'm just kind of like validating things for you, confirming things for you, reminding you of the support that you have from spirit. But again, because you've gone through the spiritual transformation on a cosmic level, magic is now allowed to flow into your life, abundance, and you created it. Remember, this is not just like I pray for it, it's here. It's not very like, because that is just unrealistic. I'm talking about realistically. You did the work. You put in the time, the effort to better yourself, to be a better version of yourself, a more compassionate, kind, loving, understanding, patient person who's willing to provide financial or just freedom for yourself and independence. Tarantula. I wanted to pull that one because if you use the fire element correctly, as far as alchemical process goes, right? As far as alchemy and magic goes, you can create things in the ethereal and bring it to the material. But also, working with the tarantula spirit animal, you learn how to not feel threatened through acts of kindness and forgiveness, right? That's essentially what's going on here. Because it's lessons of vulnerability and it's lessons of protection for me when I see the tarantula card. Group number 3. Close it out with some tarot here. Strength. There's that animalistic nature. The devil. You're the only one that got it out of all 3 groups, and there's a reason for that. Again, with the amount of stuff that you've experienced in your life, you would think that you would have turned to the dark side. Do you get what I'm saying? I know I'm a Star Wars nerd, but you would think. You would think that you would have went down the Sith route, but you actually went down the Jedi route. Not that the Jedi were wrong or the Sith were wrong, because there's rights and wrongs on both sides. That's the point of being in the middle, right? Being neutral. But this kind of devotion to spirit has brought an intense amount of spiritual strength, and it's opening up so many doorways and opportunities for you and options. You have such a good footing as far as clarity goes. You're very clear on who you are, what you want to do, how you make decisions, clarity on your life. You just have clarity on your life. And it allows you a good footing to face toxic, negative, unhealthy patterns, peoples, places, and situations. You believe in yourself. You've pushed past this whole limited belief system. You no longer think on, I could have done that, I should have done that, I would have done that, but. You no longer make excuses for yourself. If you want something, if you desire it, if you have this wish, if you have this hope, you look at the options and the choices. You don't limit yourself. And that is freedom from, literally, this is also a reading about freedom right now. Freedom from limitations, freedom from toxicity, freedom from negativity, freedom from addictions, freedom from whatever the devil card can represent in your life right now. Again, the snake of truth, the snake of wisdom. Adam and Eve right there, the apple of knowledge, right? Knowledge is power. Knowledge is wisdom. And that wisdom is reflecting on in your life right now in a way that supports your ability to have compassion, to have mercy, to have kindness, to have understanding, to heal the past, to heal the memories. Again, use that violet flame that Archangel Zadkiel has. Strength through transformation. How do you transmute? How do you transform? How do you have the strength, the courage, and the willingness to do things? Here's the thing. In this strength card, right? She doesn't force that lion to be anything but the lion. It's gentle control. Gentle, compassionate. She understands the lion and the lion's nature. It's our own inner animalistic primal side coming up, and you having compassion and kindness for that. Maybe there's a forgiveness there. I remember when I did that, right? Not to go back to the addiction, because I'm not saying that, someone's addicted, but they teach us that when we're going through addictions of having, accountability. Like, I was a drunk that got wasted and blacked out and hurt a lot of people. I'm going to take responsibility for that. I'm going to take accountability for that. But I'm not going to hate my version of that, because that version of me did the best that it could at that time. So I'm going to love it and have compassion for it and forgiveness for it. Do you get what I'm saying? This is you having kindness, compassion, and forgiveness for shadow selves, whether it's within you or other people or both, and learning from those past experiences and then creating something magical in your life. An abundant path, a healing path, a loving path. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if this resonated. Also, if you need clarification, again, the website is in the description box for personal readings. Otherwise, I hope that this helped. Thank you for being here with me. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.